we've made it to Friday, and that means that new films are opening in theaters this weekend. And here to give us a look at what's in store is film critic Tom Santilli. Hey, Tom, good to see you again.
Hey, Kevin, happy birthday, man.
Thank you. Hey, happy birthday to you, too. I know you just mentioned it was your birthday yesterday. So
yes, it was. Thank you.
It's the birthday weekend. And Fantastic Beasts, it didn't do so well last weekend, right? And it's not going to get any easier this weekend. There's a ton of new stuff coming out.
Yeah, no, I mean, Fantastic Beasts, it opened, you know, it's weird that it made over $40 million, but nowadays in Hollywood for a big tentpole like that, it's considered not a very good opening. But yeah, people don't really know what the franchise is going to do next. But yeah, segueing into this weekend, there are a bunch of options out there for people to go out if they want to. I mean, we saw the weather report, but if you end up wanting to go in and get out of the heat this weekend, you can go in and watch a movie. The big one this weekend is The Northmen. That's probably the best film this weekend. It stars Alexander Skarsgård. It's a bloody, gory, poetic movie. It's directed by Robert Eggers, who did The Witch and The Lighthouse. Then there's also a really funny comedy, a bizarre comedy this weekend. It's called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. It stars Nicolas Cage as Nicolas Cage. He plays like a meta crazy version of himself. Also stars Pedro Pascal from The Mandalorian. That's a really good movie that I think people should see. And then last and least, in my opinion, there's a family movie this weekend called The Bad Guys. It's a slick animated film. I didn't really like this movie. Either did my 5-year-old, if that gives you any indication. But there's some good voices in it. There's Craig Robinson, Mark Maron, Sam Rockwell, Awkwafina, Anthony Ramos. And all three of those are going to be sharing the space with Fantastic Beasts in theaters this weekend.
That's a bummer because I saw the trailers for it and they had me hooked to like tell you, you know, the Rotten Tomatoes was good supposedly on Bad Guys, but 5-year-old knows best.
That's what I always say when it comes to those movies. Like, what do I know?
Well, as far as the streaming goes this weekend, one of the biggest movies of this year has been The Batman, and it's now available to stream, even though it's still in theaters, right? Is this going to be like a short window between when it's actually released, or how's this going to work for movies, you think, going forward?
Yeah, well, as we know, through the pandemic, the studios tried a number of things. Warner Brothers, which does The Batman and owns HBO Max, they were doing, if you remember, same-day release, you know, where the movie would hit on HBO Max and in the theater in the same day. They did that with, like, Dune and Suicide Squad. Theaters hate this because they want the exclusive window so that they can make money at the movie theater. So it's been 45 days. It's a 45-day window for The Batman. The studios feel like this might be a good kind of middle ground. We'll have to see what the future holds for movies, but I think that that's probably what we're going to start seeing are movies hitting streaming a little bit earlier than we expect, but probably not the same day for the big releases.
Got it. Got it. Well, lastly, we've got to talk about a local film festival that's going to start next week. What's that all about?
Yeah, everybody should check out. It's called the Freep Film Festival. It's put on by the Detroit Free Press. So go to freepfilmfestival.com and you can watch the lineup. It's a local film festival. It's documentary centered, and it deals with a bunch of things that are kind of local interests, local people, local business owners. There's a great documentary about Magic Johnson that'll be a part of the festival. They have a lot of cool stuff. It's in person and virtual, and you can get tickets at that website. Again, it's freepfilmfestival.com.
All right. Do you have like an outdoor movie theater set up at your house, like something you can blow up, you know, that way you can stream stuff when it's still warm and nice outside?
I do, I must say.
Yes.
I have an indoor theater, outdoor theater. I'm surrounded by screens. It's pretty, yeah.
That's a worker's right. It's a work write-off, right? It's for work. Anyway.
Exactly. That's what I call it.
Yeah. I was
Raisinets. I'm the only person that writes up Raisinets.
Well, it's going to be a warm weekend, but still a great weekend to check out those movies. So Tom Santilli with MovieShowPlus.com. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Good to see you again. It's been a few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. You as well, man. Have a good birthday weekend.
Thank you. Well, we're talking about this warm weekend of the forecast after.